Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everyone. This is me, Jonathan Alexander, and I'm here to host our show, Life, Laughter, Happiness. Today, I have my co-host, Barbara, here with me. Are you there, Barbara?
Yes, I am. Hi, everybody. Hello. Oh, gosh, I'm so excited for tonight. We have such a special guest. Johnny, do you want to tell him who it is?
Well, you know, one of the things that I'm sure you've heard if you've listened to the show is that Barbara's been taking drum lessons. And the guy that's been teaching her is a guy named Jeff Wolfe. And, you know, you were California accredited with the new Newport Mesa United School District. You teach after school programs. And it says that you judged the National Drum Off for the 14th year in a row, and you're an engineer and a producer. I didn't know that. And you have extensive performing and background in classical rock and punk rock for 30 years, and you have a BA degree in computer technology. Now that's interesting. Those are all interesting things. So you went to school for computer technology in addition to music.
No, actually, first of all, I'd like to say thank you, Johnny and Barbara, for having me on the show. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you guys very much for giving me a chance to be here. I'd like to say that
You're
first.
welcome. Oh, my gosh, Jeff, hold on before you go on. Johnny, he's so sweet, and he's done a lot of research on you, which we all appreciate. But that was quite a loaded question for the very first question. But we are so thankful that you're here as well, and grateful and excited. And, yeah, I'm letting the cat out of the bag with telling you all, putting a lot more pressure on myself. Yeah, I'm taking drum lessons. It's something that I've always wanted to do. It's a dream, and guess what, everybody? Your dreams are important. So, how did I find this expert drum instructor, Jeff Wolfe, of the OC Drum School producer extraordinaire, member of a top band that rocks out? Okay. How did I do it? Well, that's not the important thing. I found him, so now you don't have to. And he's here with us tonight to talk about, hey, what is it like to be a drum instructor? But more importantly, who is Jeff Wolfe? Who is this guy that's made a living with his dream of being a musician? His dream of drumming perfectly, drumming good, drumming every which way but loose. Hey, welcome to the show, Jeff.
Wow, I'm blushing right now. I really am. My face is all red. But no, seriously, thank you so much for what a beautiful opening. Wow, thank you. Just a couple quick things I'd like to touch on. On my website, I keep on forgetting to update. I actually judged that drum off 20 years in a row, not 14. Yeah, it's a small thing. I just forgot to update. Whoops. But yeah, no, I judged it for 20 years. But anyways, as far as getting back to it, another question that he had, I just wanted to cover a couple things. I went to, as far as the getting my degree in computer technology and so forth. That was, it was a ticket out of the glass business. I had a pretty bad accident. It was ironically a day that we were getting played. My band Xeron was our first time getting played on KLOS that particular day, and that exact day I had a really nasty big mirror fall on my arm, and it opened my arm up pretty deep. It was like 3/4 inch, just barely missed an artery, and it was like I had 17 inches. Well, it was. I was doing
what kind of accident
at the time. It was a glass. I was doing glass
work.
work.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was a glazer. I was a journeyman glazer for like 12 years. And
wow.
Anyway, so yeah, I did lots of custom mirror work, all the Newport, Park Newport, all the mirrors and all of those. I don't know if you've ever been in that apartment complex, but that's just one very notable where there's like all kinds of crazy custom mirror work, and I did all of that.
I am new to the area, but Jeff, oh my goodness, you are a very talented person, because that kind of work it takes a lot of skill, and I'm sorry to hear that you were injured on the job.
Well, thank you. It was one of those situations where it happened. It's something I've been doing a million times, and it was just I was all excited about that. We're going to get played on the radio tonight, and it just I don't know. I think I just wasn't paying complete attention, and the mirror broke and came down, opened me up pretty good. But the long story short is, luckily the place where I was at, they were both doctors, the husband and wife, and they knew exactly what to do. And anyway, that was my ticket out of the glass business, and I kind of parlayed that into I was going to go into the electronics field. And shortly after I got my degree, it was like everything went from like MOSFET and just like let's put it this way, it all went to just computer technology, and now all of a sudden to fix boards and stuff was like an antiquated skill. I mean, literally. And so I just kind of
like
got out
blessing?
of that and went direct. Yeah, I went directly into teaching from there. That was a blessing. That was totally a blessing. Yeah. Yeah, and then I've been teaching ever since.
You had this extra skill. You were a drummer. You were about to have an exciting plateau. Then you had an accident. But I like it that you are the type of person that can actually see the light at the end of the tunnel. You're the type of person who can see this could actually be a blessing in disguise. Am I right?
It was. It was absolutely a blessing. No longer did I have to get up at 6 or 7 in the morning.
I like that.
and
I like that a lot.
I got to do what I love. Yeah, I love music, and I love teaching, and I love being able to help people to do what they wanted to do. And on my website, it's funny you talked about following your dreams. Follow your dreams to play music. It's
really?
never too late.
Why do you say that though? Because I know that when I came to you and I said, hey, I don't know, it's just always been a dream of mine to play the drums. You didn't look at me like with a big expression of surprise. There must be a lot of people out there who have this dream. One, why do you think that they do have a dream of playing drums? And two, can you actually make their dreams come true?
Very good questions. One is, yes, I don't see any age that people cannot do it. I've had my oldest student I've ever had was 95 years old, and she was a little old lady that it was like a bucket list kind of situation, and she just wanted to play drums. It was like, it was one of those dreams. She tapped on the steering wheel. She had, hers, and it was a passion. And she came to me, and I said, you know what? She had this. Do you think I could do it? I'm like, of course you can do it. You could do anything you want to. Come on. There's no age limit. There's no stopping point. It's the human brain is capable. I don't know if you know this or not, but the human brain is capable of 20 billion calculations in any given second. Did you know that?
Well, I know that because you taught me that on one of our lessons.
Well, also,
that's right.
I want to say something to that. It's the musicians who get worn out because of their age. It's not the playing the instruments; it's the traveling, right? Is it that kind of
yeah.
you know, I mean, it's...
Well, I don't get the question. What?
Sorry.
Please, Johnny, what was the question again? It's not
what
the
I'm saying
drumming,
is that...
travel?
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that you were talking about, like, what would stop an old person from playing a musical instrument, and I'm saying it's just traveling. It's really traveling. It's not the figures on the keyboard or anything like that. I mean, you know, it's actually just going from here to there and touring. But I don't think that would...
Well,
am I right about that?
Well, you're talking about on a different level, on one level. Now, check this out. I hear what you're talking about on a very professional level. Once you've gotten to a certain point in your career that you're out there in the touring world, you've got suitcases you're living out of, and yes, I've done that, and it can be a little bit grueling, but it's very rewarding. Showing up, you know, it's like, okay, where are we playing tomorrow? Okay, we're over in Phoenix or wherever we're at, you know, Northern California or wherever. You know, it's an exciting thing, but it can be grueling. But I think what we were talking about with Barbara was mentioning is with somebody showing up wanting to play, and
right.
That's not about traveling. That's just traveling, you know, just within the same county. I mean, they're not having to travel, you know, in a suitcase and everything else. So it's not that the traveling is not an issue when it comes to learning an instrument. What you're talking about is after you've mastered it, and you're in a actual band that's going, you know. But good question, though.
Okay. Well, he has questions from a much different perspective, Johnny does. Johnny, he is one in a million who doesn't even like music. My question to you, Jeff, is do you think you could ever change a person's mind like that? Johnny doesn't mind me saying that he's on the autistic spectrum,
right.
And there's no big deal about that. A lot of people are. Maybe I am. The spectrum he's on is he doesn't like music. Would you be able to change that? Because I know you teach a lot of drumming to autistic children and people. Am I right?
Yes, yeah. I call it drum therapy. And
drum therapy. Oh, that's good. What do you think about that, Johnny? This question is for you, the people who suffer from autism.
Well, how is autism how is drum therapy helps people with autism?
All right. Great. That's a very, very great question. I'm so glad you asked that. I have seen miraculous things happen. I've got an over 25 year plus case study that I've been doing on working with autistic. I'm one of the only people that I can actually say that are out there that I've heard of that actually specialize in working with autistic, because you have to understand there's so many different types of the spectrum. You know, there's many different levels of the spectrum. You know, there's no one size fits all. It's what it is understanding how to be sort of like a chameleon, and that's what I kind of learned to do is kind of who I'm working with at the time. I just kind of, after working with thousands and thousands of people, I just kind of learned to, okay, this is going to work with this person, or this is going to work with that, and it's kind of tricky. It's like same thing with working with little kids and, you know, teenagers. I mean, teenagers, whew, man, if you don't know how to talk to them right, man, whew, they will shut you down in a heartbeat. But if you do,
you've had your teenagers, so you know a little bit about that.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that in a second, Jeff. But I like your answer. I like your answer.
Finish on that.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to finish with this, is how I would change it is with drums. It's a physical instrument. It's not like guitar or piano or something, which is a lot more delicate. It's physical. And I have I had a child that came to me about 8 years old, and he was very autistic. He had his eyes, he'd come in the room, his eyes would either fully left or fully right, and he'd come in and go, "Hi, Mr. Jeff. Hi, Mr. Jeff." And I'll go, "Hey, how you doing, buddy?" I'm not going to say names. "Hey, how you doing, buddy?" And I said, "All right, we're learning." And what I did is I taught him how to look at the music and see the music, and I taught him how to read music. And, I'm just kind of pushing fast forward on this. And ultimately what happened is over time, he was with me twice a week for about 4.5 years. And over time, what happened is it was such an amazing thing. All of a sudden, in that 4.5-year point, he would walk in from that person that I saw 4 years ago, whatever. He would walk in, "Hey, how you doing? My name is blah, blah, and how you guys doing?" And
wow.
He wouldn't even know that he was autistic. Then, to take it further, he ended up going from special education classes because of drumming and the physical of drumming and the reading of the notes. He was able to connect those neurons and all of the different synapses, all those gaps. We were able to connect them, and that's kind of answering that kind of question. But further, to take that success story even a little further, he ended up going on to become an Eagle Scout. They flew the flag for him in Sacramento, and he's in college.
That's not
right
easy.
now, in regular courses, not special ed courses. He's in regular, literally, drumming changed his life, and that's why I call it drum therapy.
Okay, but Jeff, let me
answer.
ask you, what is it, do you think, about exactly thinking with your brain, reading that drum music, actually using, because you're not just using your hands and your mouth, you're using all your body parts, all your limbs. How does this connect our dots? And is this proven? I know it connects my dots.
Well,
I know it does, but can we explain it?
Well, I don't have scientific backgrounds that I could do it on a scientific level, but I can tell you this: I've seen it work on not just once, but many occasions. And of course, it's not like a quick fix, but what it does is it allows the human mind. I've been a studier of the mind for a long time, and how important it is to really understand how our brain can work. And when you take and factor in, you're using your right hand, your left hand, your right foot, and if you're doing four-way independence, you're using your left foot as well. You're combining all of your limbs with, now think of it, you're reading music, so now you're connecting it to reading music. To read music, you have to be able to look ahead a little bit. You have to be thinking cognitively. There's so many things involved with it that when you connect all these dots, all of a sudden the human mind just starts firing on different levels, and that's how those gaps on those synapses can happen. And what you're doing is you're making those gaps go away. You're connecting those synapses, and that's how real change occurs.
Okay, I have another question then. When they do connect some dots, say they come in and they didn't know much the week before, they come in for the next lesson and something connects, do you know it in that exact second, and what is the look on their face?
When they get it, and I think that's the question that you're asking, when they actually get it, they're literally, there's a look on their face, that there's a smile that they have never had, or that I've never seen from the time that I've been working with them. There's a smile, there's a light that goes on, there's an energy, there's a synergy that's electric. And what happens is the faces light up like a Christmas tree. And all of a sudden, they're so happy. And I'm right there going, yeah, you did it, good for you. And we're celebrating the moment. And it's filled with elation and happiness.
And that makes you feel happy, too, as an instructor. It's fulfilling your work.
It's so rewarding. I mean, to be able to see that look on every student's face when they get it, And I have one of my students that he's a higher functioning on the higher spectrum, and I remember his dad coming to me and saying, hey, I know he's on this, autistic and so forth, but he's higher functioning. Do you think we could do anything? And this kind of ties into your earlier question. And I said, yes, we could do it. I'm going to make your son a drummer. Or he goes, I would just be happy if he could just play with some people sometime, I don't know, sometime in the future. And you know what? Right now, he's been with me for, almost 4 years. He's playing in like a school rock band kind of thing. And he's playing with different people. He's going to shows. And his dad could not be more excited. I've even heard it through the anthem. First time he saw him playing, it brought tears to his eyes because his dream was happening.
Okay, I have a question.
Go ahead.
This is something that I have, and I thought maybe you can answer this question, because this is something that I've had some debate on, and I've come to the conclusion with this, but I want to make sure, I want to see if you come to the same conclusion as I did. I was talking to some people one time about what is the oldest musical instrument, the oldest of them all. And I came to the conclusion that it's probably the drum. Because the drum is a very simple design music. Like, for example, the piano. The piano, it's got keys, it's got pedals. It's a very, very complicated instrument. But the drum, it probably started with sticks and rocks in a cave somewhere. And, obviously, when you really think about it, that's what probably happened, is that there was some body sitting in a cave with a stick beating on a rock. And that's where drums kind of evolved from. Now, in your opinion, based on what I've said, and if you disagree, I'd like to know your opinion. Do you think the drum is the world's oldest instrument?
And the answer to that question is a very, very serious yes. The reason how it all started, now you got to remember, telephone's been around for what? Just 100 years, maybe?
Right.
A little over, whatever. The thing is back in the days, we're talking caveman days, there was different tribes. And what they would do if there was danger, or to invite people, hey, come on over for dinner, or hey, there's something going on here, we need your help. They'd have drum beats that they would use, so that way they could communicate. And that was the first form of communication, was drums.
Well, Johnny, you have your answer. The first
it also
form
seems the most simple. It's the most simple of the instruments, in makeup. You're right.
Yeah, simple. Yeah, simple. If you want to call communicating simple.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it simple. I would think that would be, think about what their minds were doing at the time when they were creating, like getting together and saying, we're going to bang on the wood going boom, 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 boom. And that means, hey, there's danger in the air. You look out, it's coming your way. Or da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. That's saying, hey, come on over for dinner. I mean, if you call it simple, I don't know, but I just think that was
I guess
pretty
what
clever.
I would say is that the drum is the most simply designed instrument compared to a piano. I mean, the design of the drum is pretty simple, whereas the piano, it's got lots of moving parts. That's why I say the drum is probably the oldest.
Oh, hold on,
okay.
Jeff. Let me intersect here a little bit, because on one of our lessons it was really interesting. Why would a person choose drums? Well, I was one of them, so I was thinking, okay, I played the flute for many years. You have to have the embouchure. I felt that when I played the flute, I needed the rest of the band to feel complete. With the drums, I feel like I don't need anybody else when I play the drums. When I play the drums, it's something primal inside of me that's rumbling, that is vibrating. That is, it's a soul, it's a heart soul, all in one feeling that I get with no other instrument. So how do we put this in words? The drums, Jeff Wolfe. The drums. What in the heck is the attraction to these drums that you so are the professional of?
All right. Good question. What about drums? It's like in a band. Let's start there. The drums are the heartbeat. And the heartbeat is everything. It's something we all have. And when we listen to music, we tap our foot. Whether we play drums or not, there's a certain rhythm that we're tapping our foot to, and it's a feeling. And the thing about drums that makes it to where like you could feel like you don't need to play drums and feel great, you don't need anybody else, is because you have your whole body that's working, and you're just playing, and you're just feeling, it's just pure joy, and you're just experiencing it. And that's what I think with drums is for me has been an easier instrument. My initial classical training came from trombone and baritone horn, and I played that early elementary school all the way through high school, first chair on both baritone and trombone all the way through, and took lessons from, I do got to give her a shout out, I took lessons from Fern Jarris. And Fern Jarris in 1960 was known, world renowned as the world's best woman trombonist in the whole world. And I took lessons with her for 10 years. I just had to throw a shout out to Fern. But sorry about that.
Hey, Fern, Fern deserves it, and I like that name, Fern. And trombone, that's not easy. If you don't know trombone, you don't press on anything. It's a slide. It's on a slide system. How well you need to know your notes and tones, right, Jeff?
Well, what it is, it's positions, and there's 7 different positions on the trombone, and you have to learn, first of all, where the positions are, but you have to use your ear. And it's like the slightest bit too far down, you're flat. Slightest bit up, too wrong, you're sharp. So you have to learn, your ear is literally the whole time, you're self-correcting if you're a little bit flat or a little bit sharp. So you just learn where those positions are. And it's fun. It's another physical type of instrument, believe it or not. Yeah, because of that. But, yeah.
Wow. Hey.
I hope that answered that.
Jeff, we have a caller. Would you mind taking a caller? They have an exceptional question.
Sure. Bring it.
All right. We have Ray De La Garza. He is a music producer extraordinaire of many big-time bands out there now. Hi, Ray.
Hello.
Hey, Ray.
How are you? How's everybody today?
Good.
Excellent.
How are you, man?
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, I'm good. How about you?
Good. So my question is just, when you're creating a band and, you need to get that sound, it seems like, is the drumming like the most important part? Because the drummer is going to keep everybody on beat. They have to follow him. Is that correct? The way that you teach and how you flow?
Well, that's tricky question only because if I said just a knee jerk yes, then it would seem kind of a little bit egotistical. So rather than say that, I would say that I'm going to defer back to what I said earlier. The drums are the heartbeat of the band, and if you don't have the heartbeat right, then that's going to really affect all the rest of the band. I mean, you could have the best guitar player, best bass player, keyboardist, singer, they could be the best in the world. But if the drummer isn't happening, man, it's not happening. So I would have to say in what I just said that I think that the drums has to be very solid. The drummer has to bring a lot of heart and soul. And with doing that, he's going to create a backdrop that allows the rest of the musicians to really excel and shine.
Because everybody else has to keep up with the drummer, right?
Well, hopefully.
Right. Yeah,
it's like
because you follow the drummer. He's the one that's driving everybody. One more question, if you don't mind, is
sure. Go ahead, buddy.
And drums. How did you get into drums? What was your deal? I mean, what made you become a drummer?
Great question. Well, I was that person in all the different bands, from like I mentioned earlier, I'm classically trained with trombone and baritone. And so I was always, even though I was, first chair on trombone and baritone, I was always looking at the drums going, and always tapping, and I'm looking at the drums and going, I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to, it was just like, I was drawn to it like a moth to the flame. And it just, I think I was 11 or 12 when my first drum set my dad got from my brother, and I started playing that, and I played that, and I picked it up, and they wouldn't get me another set. 12, I was working with my dad at the glass shop, and I said,
you're sounding like Prince Harry. Oh, well, I didn't get my own.
I saved my money. He said, you really want to play drums? And I went, yeah, I want to play drums. He said, all right, well, tell you what, you buy your first drum set. If you really like it, I'll buy you a new drum set, a real good one. And I bought that a day. 8 hours a day, and I'm not kidding, every single day. And I practiced 7 days a week.
Jeff, you're totally breaking up.
Yeah.
You're breaking up. We can't even hear you. It's all broken up. Okay, that's better. You were totally breaking up, but that is a good answer. I liked your answer, and it's always the kind of happenstance. Well, my dad got it from my brother, and then I ended up playing. Whatever happened, you're where you are today, doing what you love, and not only that, but you're still learning. You never can learn enough. On a lesson of ours, you told me that you're actually learning the keyboard. You're teaching yourself, and that is very difficult. So you're furthering yourself. Okay.
Oh, yeah, and it was. But
we know that you're an amazing instructor, okay? We know you're great. You're the OC, Orange County of California, elite, top, #1 drum instructor, okay? I want to know something a little more juicy. Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
Years, I can now. In all of these years when you were the hot drummer in bands and playing, did this give you a little up on love life? Was it attracting a lot of chicks?
Oh, my God. Well, there was that. And I it's funny you asked that. Yeah, it's like when I had my record out, we had a record that hit #2 in Europe and got played on 75 stations across the U.S. with the band Xeron, Xeron. We're still big.
What's that mean? What does Xeron mean? What is Xeron? Xeron.
Xeron was, now this was the brainchild of the guitar player Trevor Docherty, and Xeron, in his mind, Xeron was a planet. It was a distant planet, and he thought of it as the survival planet. And that was the actual T-shirts that they had back in the day when I got in the band back in 1980. That was the thing, Xeron, the survival plan. And, yeah, that's what it meant to him. And, yeah, I thought it was a really cool thing. And, but, yeah, that's
Are you
what
still
it
with
meant.
this band?
Oh, no, Xeron broke up years and years ago. But I actually produced and played drums on many, many songs. I've got countless songs with the guitar player. He and I, even after the band broke up, we've done a lot of stuff. And I've been producing. I've had my own recording studio for like 35 years, something like that. And so, yeah, I've been producing bands and doing that for all that time. And so, yeah, Trevor and I, we produced a lot of great music together over the years. And our album is still really big in Europe. I mean, we've got still a lot of people love us in Europe.
Johnny?
Yes?
Let's talk to Jeff. You're not talking to Jeff.
I'm here.
I want you to hear him.
I can hear
very
you.
important.
Did I,
if you're not going to take drum lessons, maybe a cousin or a nephew will. Johnny has a long list of family members with autism. It runs in his family. And you know what? This connects the dots. And his dad, who is a doctor, is always looking for the family members to connect their dots. And they're a loving family. I love Johnny's family. And I think it's an amazing thing.
I will tell you this. I have a nephew. His name is Alex, and he is the one that's more farther along on the spectrum. But what will happen is autistic people, what they'll do is they'll stim. They'll do things in a very stimulating. I'm sure you've heard of the term. And in a way, you might make the argument that drumming is a form of it, I guess. I don't know if that's, I don't know. I'm saying this because I'm half guessing what it is. But what will happen is that I will go in to see Alex, and he'll be in the room. And then what he'll do is he'll just be like bobbing up and down, staring at something. And then it's almost like he's off in his own world. But a lot of times that's what happens with drummers. They're off in their own world when they do their drumming. So, in a way, I could see how it would help an autistic person. I mean, don't you agree?
Oh, yeah. No, what it does is it takes, think about that, what you're talking about is a person that he's deep into the spectrum. And so when he's doing that, he's experiencing things that you or anybody around him cannot see or even understand what it is. But in his mind, he's probably got a whole wealth of things that are going on, and he's just like enjoying the ride.
Yes. And I guess that's why I think
God bless him for it. What was that?
What was it the last thing that you said? No,
I said that, and God bless him for it, that he's able to have that experience, and that's cool.
That's wonderful. I want to bring you back to one of my lessons, Jeff and Johnny here. Okay. Listen, everybody. Okay. I can play and play and play, but Jeff will not let me continue if my play is not perfect, which I completely appreciate. I am not there spending money to be appeased and, oh, that was great. No, he will not. Let that go. He is a stickler, but in a way where it doesn't make you feel intimidated. You're still having fun. But I love this, Jeff. I must tell you, I love that you will not let one drum beat go unnoticed that is not correct. I like this a lot. How do you balance this with your students, because it's not easy drumming. If they make a mistake and stop them every time to where they won't quit, and get frustrated. How do you do that balance?
Oh man, that's a fantastic question. What I try to do as a teacher is come from a place of positivity, to where what I really want more than anything is for my number one rule is, hey, we're going to have fun, and this is all about fun. And so rather than being the kind of teacher, and I know we've all had this, and I know everybody's going to laugh, they're going to remember that teacher in third grade or whatever, fourth, where all they do is tell you you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. That's not very good, positive reinforcement. What I'd rather do is I'll direct the student to understand, okay, we're having a little bit of trouble with this spot. And somebody say I can't. And for me, can't never did anything. And I always tell everybody that. That's a Jeffism right there, is can't never did anything. So don't say can't. If you're having trouble with it, say it like that. I'm having trouble. I need to work on this. Not I can't. Can't is not, that's like a four-letter word. And so what I'll do is I'll let them kind of get in their mode. They're working through it. And then when they get it, I'll go, that's it. That was it. Do that again. And then all of a sudden, whoa, really? It was like they've been working it, and all of a sudden they get it right. It's like, no, do that again. That was perfect, yeah. And, it's that positive reinforcement when they're right. And what you're doing is you're giving them positive, and they're feeling it. And they're going, oh, I did it right. Yeah, no, just do that again. And so you're not sitting there telling them wrong. You just let them work through it, and then you let them know when it's right. And then it's a positive thing. It's not a negative.
Kind of like this feeling that I have with you when I'm taking lessons that it's safe. Like, okay, he said I just did a good job. Well, then allow yourself to feel that compliment. Do that fist bump, which you're so, famous for, which I love. The fist bump really helps. And then just let it settle, because go practice as much as you can. There's no pressure, because the more you put into it, the more you're going to get out. I think my problem is I'm afraid. There's a fear. Isn't there a fear with students? They're afraid, well, should I actually splurge to go get my drum set? Am I ready? Well, hello, you as the instructor aren't going to say, yeah, go get your drum set, spend money on your drum set. It's kind of a thing that you just kind of feel. You just kind of know it. Am I right by saying that?
Well, yeah, there's something that I used to have on my website, on Facebook. Fear it has two meanings. It's an acronym for forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. And I choose.
I've heard that before.
Rise.
I like it.
I've heard that before. I was taking a TV boot camp. You know that TV boot camp that I told you about, Barbara? They talk about that all the time.
Oh, yeah? Because fear can stop
I've been using
you
that
up. Fear can stop you in your tracks.
Fear is a mind killer. Fear will kill your mind. It will destroy your mind. It will take every opportunity, and it will destroy it. So fear is, if you're going to fear anything, be afraid of being afraid. That's the biggest fear to be afraid of. Be afraid of being afraid.
Exactly. I want to take our last 10 minutes to talk about your band. Tell us what you're working on, your top hits with your band, and where we can find you. I already know, okay, I'm playing dumb here. I already know, I'm following you on YouTube. You've got an amazing YouTube channel with your band, and you're rocking out. And you actually are hard rocking out. Number one, tell me why you chose this genre of music. And number two, how's it going? Where are you playing? Where can we see you? And how can we get your music?
Good. How this band, my band is called Wisdom in Reverse. I came up with that name, I don't know. It was an accident that happened. Someone was saying something, and I went, "Oh, dude, that's crazy. That sounds like Wisdom in Reverse." And he said to me, "Wow, that'd be a great name for a band." And so I just kind of put it in my band compilation I have in my phone in my notes, band names, and then that's how that name came. But Wisdom in Reverse is basically what it is. It's a band that started, about 20 years ago, and me and the guitar player, we were the main writers of the group, and I met the guys as the producer for them. They came to me, and they had another drummer, and I was producing them, and then I was showing the drummer how to play what I needed him to play, and they just eyes opened wide and jaws dropped and went, and shortly thereafter, they wanted me to be the drummer, and so I became the drummer, and me and the guitar player would write, and I was producing with him and co-writing all the songs. And then, just unfortunately at that time, he had a guy, he was my best friend, Rob Rogers, and he was my best friend, and he just had a problem with drugs, and so he kept getting thrown in jail and kind of destroyed all of his hard work because of it. And I did everything I could to help him. He lived with me, everything, and I couldn't. But
that's too
what
bad.
we created, it was something was great that we did, and he passed away, unfortunately, due to that illness a couple years ago, and so I came to the other guys that were surviving members, and we got back together, and I said I really wanted to do this because I think Rob would have liked to see his music live again. And so I took the 9 years that I produced the band prior, and I put another year and a half in it, and then modernizing to make it everything that it is right now, and just every stone turned, every single thing, and I finally got it. Okay, we're ready. And they kept on going, can we record already? I'm like, no, not yet. I'm not done. As soon as I'm done with ideas, that's when we can record. And I'm still not done with it, but it's done enough that at least it's on YouTube right now, and you could look us up. It's Wisdom in Reverse on YouTube, and you're going to see it. Say the first song to listen to would be Bang Bang, then Character Flaws, and then Dogs. They're all good songs. I just like that order as far as introduction.
Okay.
But yeah.
Remember I told you today I love the song Dogs? It was real. Mm-hmm. It was really rocking. To me, I love that song, Dogs. Wisdom in Reverse. And that song Dogs, that's my favorite. I hope everybody goes there. Okay, in the description of our show tonight, you'll find a little bio on Jeff Wolfe, and you're also going to be able to see the link to his website for Drum School, and also his website to the YouTube channel we're just talking about, to see and hear his band Wisdom in Reverse, which is awesome. I have one more big question. It actually is a burning question with it is.
Uh-oh.
Well, you
Do
have
I need to sit down?
Okay. Jeff, you have so many. I know your students. There's a long, huge list of them. But the most intriguing people on that list to me are the youngsters. the parents obviously have a big influence. They're bringing their kid to you for drum lessons for a reason. Do they want to have a rock star child? Why are they doing this? And tell me the truth.
I'll tell you the truth. It's not that. You know what it is some parents they're trying to give their child something that's other than video games. I mean, that's honest. Some people their child is just, they bang on pots, they bang on pans, they hit on the wall, they take chopsticks and they just sit there and just creating beats, and they know, and they're, Mom, give me lessons, please, Dad, and they're listening to that. Or it's a whole litany of things in between, but usually what it is it's all positive. It's all about trying to create a new direction to give them. Are they going, oh, they got to be a rock star, they're going to go make $1 million, and they're going to give me the life I have so richly wished I could have? No, they're not doing that. They're doing it because they love their kids, and they're trying to give them something else, something beautiful. And that's what music is. It's a treasure. It's love. It's kindness. It's everything that you could wish for, all in one.
Wow, to have parents like that would have been amazing. I just went and chose the prettiest instrument I saw, which was the flute, and a lot of girls do that. But as time went on, I thought, why couldn't I have chosen the drums? Well, guess what, everybody? I've chosen the drums now, and it's never too late, right, Jeff Wolfe?
It's, in fact, to even say it's too late would be ridiculous. It's never too late, ever. Life is about
we sure
passion.
loved it, passion. It's never too late for any passion in life, and I loved those stories that you told us about, especially with your elderly drum student, because you know what, those people, they care about themselves. They want to connect their dots for whatever reason they have, and whatever reason the parents have for bringing their child, and the child for asking the parent to bring them to drum instruction. Wow, what a wonderful life you lead, because it's only full of gratitude and fulfillment, really. A, you're teaching, and B, you're doing, and you're in this fabulous band, and it's ever-changing, and I think that's what life is all about. So thank you
It's a blessing.
very much for coming on, and I hope that it helped Johnny too to understand the love that people have for music, and to maybe strive for something out of his box.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is something that everyone should do, is try and step outside what you're used to, step out of your wheelhouse, and go to something else and look to something else, because everything and anything is possible if you just mind to purpose.
Very well said. So, listeners, make sure you click on our link to become a student of the OC Drum School with Jeff Wolfe. The link is in the description, as well as the link to all of his songs on YouTube with his premier band, Wisdom in Reverse. And it's rockin'. You won't be disappointed listening to that. You are welcome.
Thank you so much.
And I look forward to next week drumming with you. And tell me what I need to do, Jeff. And he won't do it. I make him tell me, because me as a student for so many years of many things, such as dance and all, I say, Jeff, tell me to practice. Tell me to practice. He's like, okay, Barbara, practice. And then I do. And guess what? I come back way better. It's amazing how it kind of all falls in place, isn't it?
That's the way it's designed. You know, music, it starts from your soul. And once you allow it to just kind of breathe and live and let that heartbeat take the seed grow, all of a sudden, like today, what you had a great day. You were phenomenal today.
Really?
And she's really doing great, everybody. I just want to say that she's doing really
You're
great.
so funny.
And
Jeff, you are so nice. You are amazing. You said Barbara's doing great, everybody. Oh my God. See, that brings me to so much upper levels. Just that, what you just said. Oh my gosh, it means so much. And it's not fake, is it, Jeff?
No, it's like watching you today when you were like getting some of those beats, and they're not easy. We're dealing with dotted eighth notes, and dotted eighth notes aren't easy. And for some of my students that are out there that are listening, they're shaking their head. No, dotted eighths aren't easy. They're not. And to understand like you do, and the way you were approaching getting your body to work the way it was working, it was fine. You were doing great. And so that's the thing. Every success builds on another. Keep on working on that success. Keep on achieving those successes, and they're going to build into more. And that's what life is.
And it wasn't very easy when you told me, oh, okay, could you add just a little bit and a little bit and a little bit to not overwhelm? And the way you actually hold the drumstick, I could say, no, I don't want to hold it that way. That's not feeling comfortable. But I forced myself to put that thumb on that index finger and, oh, my God, and go from the pinky onward, forward, and I kept doing that and practicing, and lo and behold, guess what? Jeff was right. It made it work. And there's the magic.
And now it's easy, right? And now it just seems normal.
It's comfortable. Now it's comfortable.
Yeah. That's the new
normal. Thank you so much, Jeff. And we would love to have you come back. And as we go and we learn, because it's not stopping here. And we're going to continue on. And this is going to be fun. Do you know that I almost quit a few times?
I could feel you were getting frustrated. And that's why one of the things I try to do when I feel that with a student is if I feel that they're starting to hit a wall, I can feel that, so I just kind of, okay, let's do this. All right, and then we go down, and then let's play the song. Let's just mess around with the song now, and then just have fun. It's about keeping things fun. Life is supposed to be fun, everybody. It's supposed to be fun, and keep it fun, and enjoy, and have a beautiful life.
I want to thank you for that. You have expertise in the field of teaching. You are a phenomenal professional drummer in your own right with a successful band. And we really thank you very much for the time you've spent on Life, Laughter, Happiness with us on this Wednesday night.
Thank you. And I would like to say just a quick shout out to Ray for calling in. Hey, thank you, Ray. And I hope I answered your questions adequately. Thank you.
Is Ray still on? He's
not on the switchboard.
Good job. Appreciate it. Thank you, Jeff.
Hey, no, thank you. I appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, no, and you know what? I love all your work, and I love your bands, and I love your songs, so I'm a fan. Appreciate it.
Okay, that's awesome. Johnny boy.
Okay.
How are you feeling about learning the the drums, even though you
Well, I mean, I
do
might
not
learn about them.
self-proclaimed like music. You do not like music.
But...
Do you think we could change? Do you think we could change Johnny's mind, Jeff?
Hello, I'm here now. Sorry about that. Somehow I got cut off.
I was just asking Johnny if we may have changed his mind to learning something about music, since Johnny, who has autism, says he does not like music. He does not enjoy music whatsoever. Do you think we have a chance in changing his mind? Yeah, why? Why, Johnny?
What do you mean, why?
Yeah, why? Well, no, the reason why is, I mean, when you think about what music is, it's
no, I understand. Yeah.
And what it's designed for.
Don't interrupt him.
Give me a sec, please. What music is designed for ultimately is to help people to step out of their box and enjoy something, to go follow a story, follow something, tap your foot, travel outside your personal space. So it's a joy, and it's a beauty, and it's something that to allow yourself to not be able to enjoy. It's kind of like you're taking something beautiful away from yourself. It's really what it is, and that's all.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
Not to be not trying to be negative at all. I'm just trying to show a little positive that what something
I know
can be.
Will you do that, Johnny? Will you at least try to do the tapping of the foot and do the first exercise that Jeff, the drum instructor, is telling you to do? Will you please just start with that?
I'll do my best. I'll start. I'll make small steps. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
good. Good. Man, that's good. Yeah, you know what? That's a commitment for yourself, for a joy that you can bring for yourself, and that's never a bad thing.
Never is. It is. It's the first step, and that's great. And we're going to get Johnny, you and I, Jeff Wolfe, my drum instructor of OC, Orange County, California. You and I, if you're willing, I'd like to see if we could get John to at least say he does like music. Okay?
Yeah, let's make that a goal.
All right. I like that. Okay, cool. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening, and thank you so much, Jeff, for joining us this hour. And thank you, Johnny, for
My
trying.
pleasure.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah,
all right, everybody. Okay, well, good night from Life, Laughter, Happiness. Bye-bye.
Good night, and keep on rocking, man.
Keep on rocking. Rock and roll is. And what does Johnny have to say?
Good
Johnny,
night.
keep on rocking. Johnny said,
keep on
rocking. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Okay.
Are we out?
Yeah, I'm getting the episode right now, so.